So, Xi, let's first start about your book. There's so much to talk about here. Mao's America, A Survivor's Warning. I did my best to just in a couple sentences tell your biography, but introduce our audience to your story and your book.
Yeah, I just as you said, I was born into the slavery of communism. And when I was about turning seven, the Cultural Revolution started. That was 1966. It lasted for 10 years until Mao's death. And that was pretty much my youth. And I missed schools because school was closed during the Cultural Revolution. I witnessed the death and destruction of what that Cultural Revolution brought to the Chinese people. When I graduated from high school at the age of 16, there's nothing for the young people because there's no economy, everything was in ruins. So what did Mao do? He sent all of the urban youth, to the countryside. It's so-called countryside. It's gulags, really to send us to work in the fields, to get our re-education, a term that American is starting to learn about. And so I worked there for 3 years before I could go to college. By then, Deng Xiaoping was in power. He opened universities. I was able to go to university through my own merit by taking the examination. And so in 1986, I was able to get a scholarship to come to study in America. And that's the beginning of my journey to freedom.
That is an amazing story. So let's rewind the clock. When Mao executed the Cultural Revolution, what were his promises? What did he tell the people he was doing? And what was the result of that?
Yeah, we later on we need to talk about his first revolution, but the second revolution is the Cultural Revolution. And as a young kid, and people older than I was back then, the only thing they knew was the indoctrination they received from the government schools. So what Mao did Mao say to the young people? That there are a group of capitalist rulers. What that means is those people who want to take us back to capitalism and to let us suffer one more time. And so we have to stop them. And those capitalist rulers were in position of power. So we have to take them out. So what is capitalism? I had no idea. All the young people had no idea because the history was rewritten. We just know capitalism means bad, or we don't want to go back. Like, we don't want to go back, like Kamala Harris said. Yeah, so we joined his revolution, not me, I was too young. But the young people, what they did is they took those people in power down and then destroyed the whole Chinese civilization called Four Olds. Old ideas, old tradition, old habits, and old customs. They all have to be wiped out. Just like imagine what can be, unburdened by what has been. Get rid of everything in the past, anything traditional, anything Chinese, actually. So because we're going to re-establish a new order, that is Maoism, that become our religion. And we have that little red book that's become our Bible. So the whole Cultural Revolution was destruction of Chinese culture and then death by 20 million people.
It's remarkable. In the West, it seems as if there is this failure to understand communism and the nature of communism. What does the West not understand about communism and Maoism in particular that you write about in your book and that you know? What is it about the nature of communism that you wish all Westerners knew?
Yeah, I think I want to go back a little further, go back to the 40s. And that was the time that the Communist Party was expanding, and why they were able to be successful and had hundreds of millions of peasants follow them, join their revolution, put them in power. One word, equity. And their slogan, this one slogan put them in power: strike down the landowners and divide their land. And that is it. and the peasants followed him, joined his revolution, and put them in power. And so to them, of course, it's the whole thing is deception. Communism is about equity. It's about everyone had the same share of the wealth. And so I also want to talk about my parents. My parents were not the proletarian. They were from a well-to-do family. And what did they join the revolution? Both of them joined the revolution when they were very young. And my father, and from a well-to-do family, abandoned his family, went to Beijing to study Russian because he wanted to be a revolutionary. And what made them drawn to the communism? They want to save the country. They want to help the poor. And they were the equivalent of today's liberals. And they believed that they know what's the best way for the rest of the population. So not just my parents, my uncles, so many of them joined the revolution. By the time they found out it's not what they signed up for, it was too late. Because of them, because of their choices, I was born into the slavery of communism. Never knew what freedom meant. And the only thing I remember is told what to do. Never had a choice.
The book is Mao's America. About a minute and a half in this segment, G. We have all hour. Just as a side note, can free speech coexist with a communist regime?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. And the whole idea of communism is that you don't have your own thought. It's all about collectivism. And when you join the revolution, you have to lose yourself. You become part of the collective. And everything we have to do is get rid of the bourgeois influence in us. What is that, really? It's independent thinking. It's critical thinking. We have to wipe out everything. But by the time I came along, there was no need because I had no access of any other information. And I was told this is the truth, and I believe it because I had no idea to know that it is not the truth. So free speech, free thinking, that is the number one enemy of communism. Communism is all about mind control. It's not just free speech, it's free thinking has to be eliminated.
That is, I hope everyone is listening right now. We have G. Van Fleet for the entire hour. For her, this is not a game. She's trying to warn those of us that love America of exactly how a country and a civilization can be destroyed. We are living through a resurgence of Maoism that could be called Kamalaism, and we're going to connect it with Kamala Harris later in the hour. It's communism, Kamalaism, because we're doing ourselves a disservice if we just talk about the ideas, because this is now trying to be implemented right now in front of us.